Previously on Big Brother International Season 3, after a 9-8 eviction, Emily was sent packing, leaving many houseguests frazzled as to why the vote was super split. As Simone wanted answers, she also wanted to make it clear her targets were Mario, Sammy, and Drake. However, when this got back to them, Simone became a major threat in the house. After a pumpkin carving nominator challenge, Crystal successfully carved the best one and won. She nominated Carmen as her main target. Melody is someone who has been isolated in the house due to her beef with Carmen, and Simone as she was seen as a pawn in Crystal's eyes. However, after Eliza convinced Crystal her target should be Simone, it made her rethink who she should be going after this round. At the eviction ceremony, Carmen kept her cool as Melody continued to take a few jabs at her. When the voting results came out, it was a 6-6 tie, in which Crystal had to break it. As a result, Simone was sent packing as a potential underestimated threat in the house. With Simone gone, will Carmen and Melody be the sole house targets, or will a new one emerge? Find out on today's episode.
This is a summary and recap of Big Brother International Season 3, Episode 5. It's night 9 in the BBI house. Carmen talks with Florence about the previous vote as she is shook by the tied vote. Florence admits to her he was shocked that Crystal chose to evict Simone over Melody. However, he believes it's because Simone was spreading some names to people and rumors went around that Simone was targeting the people who tried to vote for her during Emily's eviction. Another person shocked by the result was Ian. He spoke to Hannah, one of the people he considers a close friend in the house. She tries to comfort him as he's upset seeing Simone go home. He feels like this is a wake-up call in the game for him since he hasn't been doing much in the game up to this point. However, Ian might be starting to play the game a bit too late. That's because some people are starting to view Ian as the next target, especially Crystal after she was the sole vote to evict Simone, and everyone in the house knows how much Simone trusted Ian. Sammy is one of the people on board to get Ian out as he was probably involved in the plan to target him, Mario, and Drake. In another conversation, Crystal also finds out that Pascal wants Ian out as he's likely going to play harder and stronger now that he lost his best friend and ally. Of course, nobody knows for sure what Ian would do with power, but he could likely become a powerhouse in challenges. Ian's not the only one in danger. Once again, Carmen's game keeps going in a downward spiral as her allies start to think about flipping on her. Eliza and Cassandra are two people who disagree with her strong-arm tactics to get her way. Associating themselves with her could be dangerous for them. Even Telly and Charlie are debating whether they should align with Carmen anymore. They fear that they will go up on the block next to her someday and will be the bigger target over her due to her surviving eviction 3 times now. Day 10. Roddy and Drake have a conversation about targeting Carmen again. Roddy sees her as his biggest threat because she's becoming a pawn star. Being a pawn star in an all-star season is bad news for the bigger players in the game, in which Roddy considers himself a big player. With Carmen's game getting worse as the rounds go on, Melody's game is finally earning some respect from her previous friends and supposed allies. Specifically, Charlie apologized for distrusting her during her nominator reign. Even Cassandra in a different conversation with her gave advice so she could be on the right track within the game again. Cassandra tells her to stop playing the wild card game she's playing and to stop having tunnel vision by targeting Carmen all the time. Is this advice going to change how Melody plays, or will her old tactics continue? It's day 11, and it's time for the Nominator Challenge. In this puzzle challenge, the house guests must first fill up 2 bird feeders all the way. Once they do, they may proceed to the puzzle portion, where the first house guest to put together a 50-piece puzzle will win the Nominator Challenge and nominate 3 house guests for eviction. With the challenge started, the house guests begin filling up their bird feeders. Many start getting attacked by birds, setting them back in the challenge. However, Mario and Telly did not let the birds stop them, and they got to the puzzle first. As more people got to the puzzle, it became clear it was a difficult one to finish. After a bit of time, Crystal came out clutch after being one of the last few people to reach the puzzle portion and still completing it first, making this her second challenge win. Of course, Crystal found her nominations easy this time since she already pissed 2 people off by putting them up last time. Therefore, she nominates Carmen and Melody again. As for her last nomination, Crystal is deeply afraid of Ian after she was the sole vote to take Simone out. Therefore, she has no choice but to nominate him and hope he goes home. Back in the house, the people targeting Ian get to work so he goes home tonight. Drake is one of those people as he tries to convince B. Marie that they need to keep Carmen and Melody to target one another, meaning Ian has to go tonight. He successfully convinces her this is the right move. In other conversations, Crystal tries to convince Ray to target Ian, and then Charlie and Sammy agree to target Ian tonight as they also feel threatened by him as they do not know where his head exactly is. However, not everyone is on board to vote Ian. Melody's name starts getting thrown around after Carmen convinces people like one of her closest allies, Telly, to vote her out. She even gets Eliza's vote as Eliza truly doesn't care who goes home at this point. Florence also sees an opportunity to scoop Ian into his alliance with Pascal, so he tells Ian the vote is Melody as she's the true wild card in the house. Eventually, Pascal is on board, and so is Hannah thanks to the close bond Florence has been working on with her. Carmen isn't untouched tonight, though. Martino is trying to get the house to vote Carmen out, and his closest ally, Roddy, is another person who is spearheading for Carmen to finally go home. We will have to wait and see if they can pull this off, or if it's too late. Night 11 is eviction night, with Carmen, Melody, and Ian nominated for eviction. During the discussion, Crystal admits to everyone these nominations were simple for her. She nominated Melody and Carmen last round, so them going up doesn't bother her much. Ian then asks her why she put him up, and she beats around the bush by saying they simply aren't well connected right now. Ian then decides to throw Melody's name out there and tells everyone that he personally believes Melody is the bigger threat at the moment because after seeing her round 1 nominator reign, she's capable of doing anything. Melody says she's sick and tired of people constantly spreading her name out, and says she doesn't know how much more she has to make it clear her target is Carmen. With that, the voting begins. After everyone finishes voting, the results arrive. With only 2 votes, Carmen is the first one safe tonight. This means it's down to Melody and Ian, and the result is a 9-6 vote. With 9 votes, the 5th evictee is Ian. Carmen is fairly disappointed by the result, and Ian stares everyone down in the room after he expected for Melody to go home. Melody gives Ian a smile, but he instantly gets up and leaves the room without a word. As Ian approaches the front door, the ATM next to it flashes. He approaches the machine and finds out he can pick next round's secret assassin. He secretly picks someone and heads out. See you all for episode 6.
Next time on Big Brother International. After Ian got evicted, he got to pick the next secret assassin. Who did he pick, and will the secret nomination stir up some more chaos? Plus, many houseguests fear a big guy's alliance is forming. Will it be stopped, or will the guys take control of the game? Find all of this out next episode happening tomorrow.
Ian's final thoughts. Ian can't believe people once again kept Melody and Carmen in the game. He doesn't think he was a threat to anyone's game and that he's less dangerous than the other 2 who sat next to him on the nomination seats.